live. We back, man. Welcome back, or just welcome if it's your first time here. I'm your humble host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. This is the Golden Goose DFS show where we specialize in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. So if that's your particular style of play, man, you find one of the best spots you can be in. And like I always say, even if it's not, man, it's still, even if that's not your particular style of play, you're still in one of the best spots you can be in, man. Especially if you're doing NBA DFS. I also do NFL videos. Be sure to go check those out, alright? Go on and hit that subscribe button. Turn your notification bell on, man. You won't be sorry. I guarantee it. Also, hit that like button for your boy, man. It goes a long way, and it gets some good karma, some good energy headed your direction, man. If you wonder why you haven't been getting nice things done for you, you haven't been getting any good blessings, man, it's probably because you should do good to get good in return. Go on and hit that like button, man. All right. Listen, this is my starting five, man, where I bring you five players that's more than likely going to be in my player pool for DraftKings and FanDuel. And I say more than likely because of slates like last night, man. What was that? That just goes to show you, man, with NBA, man, you can never get too comfortable with your lineups, man. You cannot do it, all right? You get last second scratches, guys ruled out right after lock, man. This slate went to hell real fast last night. I was very confident in my lineups before lock, but after lock, getting that information, Embiid being ruled out at the last minute, the Grizzlies changing they starting lineup with Derrick Rose and Roddy, it just went to hell fast. We late swap did what we could do, but ultimately it just did not work out in our favor. On DK, it was a rough one. FanDuel got most of my buy-in back. DK, I got the two biggest landmines that was out there. They was chalky and they killed you. If you had Jaden Ivey and Paulo Banchero, man, congratulations. You stepped on both of the landmines like I did last night, man. Paulo Banchero, man, how the whole Magic team ball and stuff for Paulo Banchero, man. It was crazy. Like I said, it was a rough night, man. Late swapping didn't go in my favor. This is my best lineup, 273. At the top, you see the biggest landmine on the slate. Jaden Ivey, 41% on, only gave you 15 fantasy points. As he proceeded to go out there and foul out in 19 minutes, like, I guess he just didn't feel like playing last night, brother. You could have told us, you know what I'm saying? Could have asked coach to give you a night off or something. That was crazy. Next play, James Harden in this line. I got him in low ownership, man. He just a guy I continue to play. It's only been two Clippers I done played since they moved Russell Westbrook to the bench based on price, and that's Harden and Kawhi Leonard. I'm just going to continue to play him. James Harden got him at 3%, dropped the 50 burger for us going here against the Sacramento Kings. Small forward went to Franz Wagner, 20% on. He had 46 fantasy points solid from him. Got some Jabari Smith in there with no Fred Van Vliet. Only 30 fantasy points from him. I just can't get Jabari Smith right for nothing. Time I don't play him, watch he drop 50. Went back to my boy Walker Kessler. You always see me talk about him, man. He did solid last night and still hasn't got 30 plus minutes, man. Go on and move Kessler back into the starting lineup so we can ball out. Had him at 6% on, gave me 36 fantasy points. D Rose got him at 18% on, undoubtedly low ownership because people just went to Holiday and like I said, it was a late addition to the starting lineup, but I ended up getting plenty of D Rose. He was solid, 32 fantasy points at 4,400. With the Desmond Bain was just okay. Expected a bigger game from him, but 45 fantasy points didn't hurt. And I had some Aaron Holiday as well, 42% on. He gave you 20 fantasy points. Like I said, a rough one on DK. The late swapping didn't go in my favor, and I had too much Ivy and Banchero. I was right with the field. I probably had like 40-50% Ivy. I had probably 75% Banchero. That just destroyed me on FanDuel. On DK. Let's go look at FanDuel and see how I did over there. Like I said, FanDuel got most of my buy-in back over here. Only lost like a little bit. My best lineup was 344. This is the 222 to 25 max or 20 max, however they feeling that night. Dennis Schroeder at the top, 11%. He gave us 36 fantasy points. Finished 2 points shy of a double-double, man. I had him on DraftKings as well. I could have used those 2 points, Schroeder. Got Jalen Green here at 26% on. He dropped 47 fantasy points. Good night from him. Got some Cole Anthony. Pardon me, gang. Got some Cole Anthony here as well, 37% on. 44 fantasy points. Man, the big difference with D'Angelo Russell, almost a 60 burger from him at 18% on. I should have got some more. I had a nice amount of D'Angelo Russell. Should have got a little more. And there you see it, man. Bancaro, 61% on. I was in the $25 single entry. He was like 75% on, man. It was just a huge landmine for everybody that played him. Only 13 fantasy points. Just utterly ridiculous out of Bancaro. At the small forward, got to some David right at 3% on. If I knew he was gonna come in this low, I'd have got a little more of him as well. But right at 28 fantasy points for him, solid at his price tag. AD shut it down for me, man. Y'all know I was playing some AD. Y'all absolutely know I was playing some AD, man. 65 fantasy points, 15% on from him. Jabari Smith once again, and went to Paul Reed down here at 68%, 21 fantasy points out of him. Let's get into today's slate, man. Like I said, a rough one yesterday, man. If you find a way to maneuver through all that traffic and cash and make money yesterday, congrats to you, man. But that just goes to show you, like I always tell you, man, you gotta be locked in at least to about 8:30, man, 9 o'clock. You should get most of the news by then. It may not come. It may come after that, depending on what time the late games. If you got some 10:30 late games, you might have to wait a little longer. But you got to be able to watch the news pretty much to the last game lock for NBA. All right. Let's get into this, man. My starting five for the day on DK. Y'all know it's injury news. We got pending. We gonna be waiting on. You're gonna have to adjust accordingly. I bring it to you as I see it right now. At the top, if Jimmy Butler is out again, give me Kyle Lowry here, 5,600. Going against the Indiana Pacers, everybody should know right now, man. Play teams against the Pacers, play teams against the Pistons, play teams against the Wizards. You just do it. The pace up, lack of defense for the Pacers bodes well for anybody they're playing. And if it's no Jimmy Butler night, I will go right back to Kyle Lowry, man. Had a very solid game last time out with Jim Butler without any Jimmy Butler. Should see that same role here again as they take on the Pacers here. I like Kyle Lowry if Jimmy Butler is out. All right. At the shooting guard, I'm going right back to Scary Terry, man. Hopefully nobody plays him. Hopefully the ownership is down on him. It's a 9-game slate. He left a bad taste in people's mouth last time out, but listen, I've been playing NBA DFS for a while. That's what you get out of Terry Rozier. Even going back to last year when Melo missed, you're going to have some duds, and he'll come back and drop 50 for you the next game. This is a better matchup for him going against these Brooklyn Nets. I like going right back to Terry Rozier, 7,700. I ain't got to break it down to you. You know what he do. You know what he's capable of. It's just about him doing it. Like I said, I hope the bad performance keeps the ownership down on him. I think he's in line for a bounce back here against these Brooklyn Nets. At the small forward, now I'm expecting there to be no Anthony Edwards tonight, man. He got hurt last game out, which killed my single entry. We ain't going to talk about it. But he's questionable right now with a hip injury. I don't see no real reason to rush him back, especially against the Utah Jazz. And this is the time I would look at Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I haven't played him all year while people have been playing him, trying to get some value in there. I haven't been going to him because I didn't like him with all the starters in. Now you get a spot without Anthony Edwards, and he potentially has a chance to get more than 8 shots up. This is when I go to a guy like Alexander Walker. Now, this is pending on the starting lineup because we don't know how they're going to go with this starting lineup. It could be Troy Brown Jr. They could bring Kyle Anderson in. If they bring Kyle Anderson in, I'm going to let you know, I'm pivoting to Kyle Anderson away from Alexander Walker. But if Troy Brown Jr. is starting, I'm going to stay with Alexander Walker, all right? 4,900. He's solid. He's been starting. You should see 30-plus minutes in a close game. I just got to keep my eye on this starting lineup. But remember, it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker right now if Troy Brown is starting. But if Kyle Anderson starts, I'm easily making a pivot to Kyle Anderson. At the power forward spot, give me Karl Anthony Towns, man. I know Anthony Edwards going against this Jazz teams. Nobody down there on the block that can deal with him. I see 20-plus shot attempts incoming for Karl Anthony Towns. This is the spot to get Towns. He's probably going to be a little chalky. I don't care. I think he's going to be good chalk in this spot. Like I said, he's going to be able to see whatever shot he wants just because there's nobody on the court that takes shots away from him. Gobert doesn't really look for his shots. Mike Conley ain't going to really look for his shot. He'll take it when it's there, but he only going to shoot like 10, 12 times a game. He's really trying to be the point guard there. You got Alexander Walker and whoever else they move into the starting lineup. It does not matter. Karl Anthony Towns be able to get whatever shot he wants when he wants. Like I said, I'm expecting 20, plus minimum shot attempts for Karl Anthony Towns. Should get 10 boards. Now, should be a nice double-double here from Towns. I like going to him in this spot at 8,800. And at the center spot, I'm going to go right back to Nick Claxton at 6'3". Listen, last game out was a little rough for him. It was a tougher matchup inside, a little slower paced game. This is Nick Claxton's type of game right here. He's an athletic, smaller size center. Playing against these Charlotte Hornets who like to get up and down and run. If they push the pace, this is the perfect game for Claxton. He can get up and down the floor, super athletic. Should be a lot of shot attempts, a lot more rebound opportunities. This is a game that fits Claxton's style. I like going back to him at 6,300 right here. So there you have it, man. Just starting five for DraftKings. Kyle Lowry, Terry Rozier, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Karl Anthony Towns, and Nicholas Claxton, man. Get some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine, all right? Let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I'm feeling over there. At the top, man, I told you, it's only two Clippers I've been playing because of their price and the starting lineup adjustment. James Harden and Kawhi Leonard going right back to them both here tonight, man. Like James Harden at 7,500. He's coming off a 50 burger. It's the second night of a back-to-back, but I'm okay with getting to some James Harden here in my player pool. Should be very solid going against this Golden State Warriors team. Sign me up for some more James Harden. At the shooting guard, I want to go to Duncan Robinson as well. He's another guy. He's going to be in play regardless of whether Butler plays or not, man. He is their shooter. They call screens for him. They design three-point shot attempts for him, man. If that shot is falling at the thumb, it seemed okay last game. He scored well. He shot the ball okay. I'm hoping he's a little more comfortable shooting with it, being in a game removed from the injury. Hopefully his efficiency is a little more improved as the thumb injury hopefully is improving as time goes on. I like going back to Duncan Robinson here at 5,600. It's going to be one of their main scorers if it's no Jimmy Butler out there. Same thing applies, man. He didn't really do much last time out. Hopefully that left a bad taste in some of the players out there, Miles, and he comes in at a little lower ownership, but great spot for him here against the Pacers. All the same reason I like Laurie, I like Duncan as well, man. Pace-up game, plenty of shot opportunities. Pacers defense suck. Give me some Duncan Robinson at 5,600. Coming in at small forward, I want to go to Miles Bridges, man. Now, similar to Nick Claxton, this game shapes out better for him as well. They played New York Knicks last time. He struggled a little bit because they're a little tougher inside. And Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle down there, better rebounders. So he didn't give you the rebounds you needed last game or the scoring you need. Going against this Nets team going to be a lot softer inside, man. He should be able to have his way down there. I'm looking for a big game from him, bounce back spot as well, man. Give me Miles Bridges here at 7,800. At the power forward spot, I'm going to go back to Andrew Wiggins, man. FanDuel moved him up $400. It's still pretty cheap for him. And hopefully that last game was the game he needed to break him out of this slump he's been having all season. The Golden State Warriors are going to need him to be better if they plan on making a run at this championship. So hopefully that last game woke him up and he get his sea legs back and he's ready to run, man, and play the way he's capable of, the way he was playing last year. So I got plenty of interest in Andrew Wiggins here at 5,300. All right, and then rounding out at the center, man, it's the thumbnail. Give me Cat, man, Karl Anthony Towns, just for the sheer volume of work he's about to get against these Jazz. And it's a better matchup for him, like I said. I like Karl Anthony Towns here in this spot, man, expecting a big game from him with no Anthony Edwards. There you have it, man. Your starting five for FanDuel. Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Miles Bridges, Duncan Robinson, and James Harden. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine, all right? That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.